Stop being liked, because the more you try to be liked, the more you will be used. People don't respect those who constantly seek approval. They only respect those who command it without begging for it. Machiavelli said it best. It is safer to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, that doesn't mean cruelty. It means power. It means learning to walk alone without shrinking, to speak less but with weight, and to stop apologizing for being who you are. When you stop needing to be liked, you become unpredictable, and that unpredictability gives you control. The world teaches you to smile, to agree to bend, but every time you bend, you lose a piece of yourself. Respect is not given to those who please. It is given to those who dare to displease when necessary. So stop saying yes when your soul screams no. Stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand you. Silence is more powerful than excuses. Distance is more powerful than chasing. The moment you stop trying to be liked, your presence begins to speak louder than your words. People notice when your energy changes from wanting approval to demanding self-respect. They sense it, and suddenly, they treat you differently. They can't joke about you anymore. They can't manipulate you anymore. And they can't ignore your worth. Because you've stopped playing the game of validation. You've chosen the harder path, the path of power, not popularity. Remember, Machiavelli's wisdom wasn't about domination. It was about understanding how human nature works. He knew that people follow strength, not softness, so build yourself like a fortress. Speak when necessary, move with purpose, and never reveal everything you think or feel. Keep mystery around you, it's your shield. Those who seek to be liked become predictable, but those who move with quiet confidence become untouchable. When you carry yourself as if you owe nothing to anyone, you rise above every small insult and every silent judgment. And one day, you'll look around and realize, respect doesn't come from trying to be liked. It comes from being authentic, decisive, and unbothered. The world bows to those who no longer crave its approval. Be feared for your discipline, respected for your calm, and remembered for your strength. Stop being liked, start being respected. That is how you unlock the dark power that Machiavelli understood. The power of the self that stands unshaken, even when the whole world tries to change it. Because the need to be liked is the first chain that binds your potential. Every time you try to please everyone, you lose a part of yourself. People don't admire those who chase approval. They admire those who stand alone and move forward with quiet strength. The one who is liked too easily is never taken seriously. Machiavelli understood this truth centuries ago. That power is not about being loved. It's about being respected, even by those who don't agree with you. Respect creates boundaries. Love without respect destroys them. When you stop being liked, you stop living for others and begin living for purpose. The world will test you for it. They will call you cold, distant, arrogant, or selfish, but deep down, they will know they cannot control you anymore. And that's what truly unsettles them. The more you value yourself, the more others are forced to value you. But it starts with the courage to be disliked. This is the test every powerful person must pass. The test of standing firm when your silence is misunderstood, when your strength is called pride, and when your truth isolates you. The weak crumble when approval fades. The strong grow sharper. When you no longer crave to be liked, you begin to act, speak, and live according to what is right for your destiny, not what is convenient for their comfort. People who respect you will come to you. The rest will fall away. And that is how power begins, by subtraction, not addition. You strip away the unnecessary attachments, the fake smiles, until what's left is only truth, clarity, and authority. Power is quiet, but it is never passive. It doesn't shout. It doesn't explain. It doesn't chase. It simply exists, undeniable and unmovable. Those who depend on the approval of others live as slaves to opinion. One harsh word breaks them. One rejection stops them. One rumor shakes their entire self-image. But those who stop needing to be liked develop a shield made of calm indifference. They understand that respect doesn't come from trying to be seen as good. It comes from being impossible to manipulate. When you stop chasing likability, your time, energy, and mind become weapons. You no longer spend hours doubting yourself or defending your choices. You start building, learning, creating. Every no becomes sharper. Every silence becomes heavier. You no longer try to convince people. You let your results do it for you. Machiavelli, believe that leadership demands the courage to be misunderstood. The people who achieve greatness are rarely liked in the beginning. They are doubted, criticized, and even hated. But once their vision becomes reality, the same people who mock them stand in awe. So remember this: being liked gives you comfort. Being respected gives you control. The one who seeks comfort remains ordinary. The one who seeks control shapes destiny. If you live for approval, you will die by rejection. But if you live for purpose, rejection becomes irrelevant. Every person who ever built an empire, changed a system, or rose from nothing learned this law: you must be willing to stand alone in the storm of judgment until the world learns to bow to your calm. The secret of power lies in emotional detachment. Do not let flattery move you or criticism destroy you. Both are traps meant to pull you into other people's expectations. Stay grounded in reason. Study people, but do not depend on them. Observe their motives, their fears, their ambitions. The one who sees through others gains control without raising a voice. When you understand human nature, you stop reacting to it. That's why Machiavelli taught rulers to appear kind but remain calculating inside. Not because cruelty is noble, but because naivete is dangerous. To be too honest, too open, too giving, that is to hand over your power to those who will use it against you. The world respects scarcity. What is rare is valued. So make your presence rare, your words rare, your emotions rare. When you give everything freely, your time, your kindness, your energy, people stop appreciating it. But when you withdraw, they start wondering. They begin to miss what they took for granted. That's how power grows silently, in the space between your absence and their curiosity. Never explain your silence. Let it create its own weight. The less people know, the more they imagine. And imagination always paints you larger than life. Those who need to be liked show everything. Those who command respect reveal nothing they don't choose to. There will come a moment when you must decide: do you want to be understood, or do you want to be respected? The truth is, you cannot have both. People cannot understand what they fear, and they cannot respect what they fully understand. Keep mystery around you, because mystery is magnetic. It makes others approach carefully, speak thoughtfully, and act consciously in your presence. You'll notice the difference. The same people who once dismissed you will start measuring their words. The same ones who ignored you will start watching you. That's the transformation that happens when you stop trying to be liked. You shift from needing attention to commanding it. Discipline is your weapon. It builds a reputation that no words can replace. The one who controls their emotions, their time, and their reactions owns every room they walk into. People trust discipline even when they fear it. And when they trust your consistency, they follow your lead, whether they admit it or not. So train yourself to be calm under pressure, patient under chaos, silent under provocation. Every reaction you refuse to give away becomes a piece of respect you earn. People lose power not because they are weak, but because they react too soon, too emotionally, too publicly. Machiavelli taught that a wise person hides their motives until the right moment, because timing is everything in power. You do not need to shout your greatness. You need only wait for the silence when everyone else exhausts themselves. The transformation from being liked to being respected is not a single moment. It's a slow evolution. It begins the day you decide to stop explaining who you are. It continues every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your vision. It deepens every time you choose silence over reaction, logic over emotion, solitude over approval. And one day, you will realize that the same people who once took you lightly now move carefully around your name. That is not arrogance, that is balance restored. Respect arrives when you stop asking for it and start embodying it. So walk your path with quiet authority. Let your eyes speak confidence, your actions show clarity, and your absence remind others of your strength. The need to be liked fades when your purpose becomes greater than your ego. You no longer need applause, you create impact. You no longer seek attention. Your work demands it. That is the Machiavellian power the world fears but secretly admires: the calm, calculated strength of a person who owes nothing, asks for nothing, but achieves everything through control, focus, and inner stability. When you begin to master the art of not being liked, you will notice a strange shift inside yourself. The noise that once surrounded you starts to fade. The opinions that once controlled your emotions begin to lose power. You will feel an unfamiliar peace, a silence that is not emptiness but strength. It is the silence of knowing who you are and no longer needing others to confirm it. Machiavelli understood this silence as a kind of weapon, the calm before the storm, the steady focus of one who rules not through noise but through presence. Most people crave validation because they fear being invisible, but the truly powerful understand that invisibility can be the ultimate advantage. When no one fully knows your mind, they can never predict your moves. When no one owns your emotions, they can never control your reactions. In this state, you no longer chase opportunities. They begin to find you. People who once dismissed you start to respect your restraint. They sense your boundaries, and in that sense, they recognize your power. Every word you speak now carries weight because it is measured, deliberate, and necessary. You are no longer part of the crowd that reacts to everything. You have become the observer, the one who chooses when to act. That is what separates leaders from followers. Followers are ruled by emotion. Leaders rule through self-mastery. The moment you understand that your energy is currency, you stop spending it on everyone. You start to guard it, to invest it, to multiply it. That is when you begin to create influence that no flattery can buy and no jealousy can destroy. Respect is not built through noise. It is built through control, control of self, of reaction, of time, and of energy. When you control these, you control the game. People may not like you for it, but they will learn to measure themselves in your presence. And that, in truth, is all respect really is. The space others give you out of recognition that you cannot be easily moved. In a world full of emotional chaos, the person who remains calm becomes a mirror to everyone else's instability. They start to either hate you for your composure or follow you because of it. Either way, you win, because both reactions acknowledge your dominance. Do not mistake indifference for coldness. Indifference is focus redirected inward. It is choosing to give your attention only to what serves your growth. The ones who call you cold are often those who once fed on your warmth. They will say you've changed because they can no longer benefit from your kindness. But you haven't changed, you've simply become aware. Awareness creates distance, and distance creates perspective. Perspective allows you to see people as they truly are, not as they pretend to be. Once you begin to see clearly, you no longer seek to be liked. You seek to be respected through truth and through boundaries. The Machiavellian mindset is not about cruelty or deception, as many think. It is about strategy and clarity. It is about seeing the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. It is the acceptance that not everyone will love you, not everyone will support you, and not everyone deserves access to you. This acceptance is liberation, because once you stop expecting fairness or approval from others, you free yourself from disappointment. You no longer waste energy trying to fix how others see you. You understand that perception is their problem, not yours. The wise learn to use perception like a tool. They shape it when needed, but they are never trapped by it. You must become that wise. Power is not about controlling others. It's about controlling the environment through your behavior. When you control yourself, you automatically set the tone for how others treat you. Your discipline becomes a mirror that exposes their lack of it. That's why people who cannot control you will often label you difficult, arrogant, or intimidating. They are projecting their frustration because your self-mastery reminds them of their own weakness. But this is where you must remain calm. Do not react. Let your consistency break their assumptions. Over time, even your critics will begin to respect you. Because while attention fades, respect lasts. The truth is, respect is built in silence and proven through time. Every decision you make in solitude, every boundary you hold firm, every emotion you discipline, adds another layer to your aura of control. This aura is what makes others pause before speaking carelessly around you. They can't quite define it, but they feel it. The gravity of someone who doesn't need validation. This is the dark power that Machiavelli spoke of, the kind that doesn't shout for attention, but demands it effortlessly. People start to notice how unbothered you are by what rattles everyone else. They start to realize that your peace is not ignorance. It's power contained. Soon, you will reach a level of focus where the noise of opinions will sound like whispers from a distant world. You will see people still playing the game of being liked, changing their masks to fit every room they enter. And you will smile not from arrogance, but from understanding. You will remember that you once tried to play that same game, that you once gave your power away for approval that never satisfied you. Now you move differently. You enter spaces not to impress but to observe. You speak not to be heard but to make impact. You help when you choose, not when others demand. You have become strategic, intentional, and detached not out of bitterness, but out of awareness that your energy is too precious to be wasted on shallow validation. Respect is not a gift, it is a consequence. It is the natural result of aligning your life with purpose and discipline. The one who walks with conviction becomes untouchable. Their silence commands more attention than the noise of those who try to imitate them. This is why Machiavelli taught that appearances can be used, but substance must be preserved. The wise leader knows when to appear gentle and when to be firm, when to remain quiet and when to strike. It's not about pretending. It's about mastering the rhythm of power. Every time you hold back a reaction, you store power. Every time you choose patience over impulse, you build leverage. Once you understand this, their words lose all power. You must train your mind to remain calm under judgment. When someone insults you, remember, they are revealing their insecurity, not your truth. When someone ignores you, understand they are protecting their ego, not reflecting your worth. When someone dislikes you, know you have triggered something in them they cannot control. Machiavelli would say, never interrupt your enemy while they are making a mistake, and sometimes their mistake is underestimating you. Let them. Your task is not to be liked by them. Your task is to build so powerfully that even your enemies are forced to respect you. The discipline of being respected requires that you stop explaining, stop chasing, and stop pleasing. You begin to live by one simple rule: act. Don't announce. The more quietly you move, the stronger your presence becomes. Power grows in silence because silence gives nothing away. People talk to feel powerful. The wise stay quiet to remain powerful. When you move like this, the world begins to wonder about you. That wonder turns into respect, and respect turns into influence. You will notice people trying to imitate your calmness, your tone, your attitude. That's when you know you've shifted from being liked to being followed. Respect is not loud. It doesn't need to be declared. It is felt. It is the way people lower their voice when you speak, the way they hesitate before crossing your boundary, the way they look for your approval even when you offer none. That is real power, invisible but undeniable. The one who needs to be liked chases attention. The one who commands respect attracts it naturally. The difference is internal stability. The more stable you are within yourself, the more the world aligns around you. Chaos loses its grip on the calm mind. When you learn to master your emotions, no one can use them against you. When you no longer react, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability, as Machiavelli taught, is one of the greatest forms of control. So walk through life like a strategist, not a performer. Do not reveal everything you think or feel. Give people just enough to keep them guessing. That mystery is not deceit, it's protection. It protects your mind, your energy, and your focus. People who seek to be liked give everything away because they crave connection. People who seek to be respected reveal only what strengthens their position. Learn to hold back your words, your plans, your emotions. Let people wonder about you. Let them talk, let them assume. Each assumption they make creates confusion, and confusion is control. Power is not about being louder. It's about being wiser with your silence. The world will always test your self-respect by offering shortcuts to approval. It will tempt you with flattery, attention, and false opportunities. But the one who seeks respect must reject the bait of validation. Not every compliment deserves belief, and not every invitation deserves acceptance. Choose quality over quantity in everything. Your words, your actions, your circle. The fewer people you need, the freer you become. Freedom is the ultimate symbol of respect. Those who control their own time, mind, and emotions rule themselves. And that is the highest form of power any human can possess. You will reach a point where peace feels better than attention. At that point, you've crossed into a higher level of discipline. You no longer crave applause, because you've learned that applause fades, but mastery remains. The respect you build through discipline will outlast every opinion spoken against you. When you walk with that awareness, you no longer fear being disliked. You start to see it as a filter, the universe removing what does not belong. making space for what does. Machiavelli would say, every ruler must learn to use both the lion and the fox, courage and strategy. You must be strong enough to stand alone and smart enough to know when to stay silent. You want to become one of these people. Then continue to learn, grow, and improve. And always remember to stay strategic, stay ethical, and stay powerful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.